Thank you for tuning in to Entertainment Buzz. I'm your host today, Ronnie L Cleary. Please remember to hit like, share, and subscribe on our page to keep up with all of our future content. Joining us in the studio today is Hunter Lyons. Hunter, welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. I just want to say before we get started, love the beard, man. Love it.
Appreciate it.
No problem, no problem. Beard recognizes beard. So let's just jump right into the real interview now, before we talk about beards all day. You picked up a guitar at a very early age, because like a lot of kids, you wanted to be like your father, and he played. So kind of tell us how that came to be.
Yeah, my dad's always been a guitar player. I picked it up around 8. He would leave this little Martin backpacker in our toy box, just kind of hoping I would fiddle with it,
Yeah.
And eventually I did, and kind of just tinkered around for a few years, and I started taking it more seriously probably around 11 or 12. Is when I really got into it. But yeah, at first it was just, I wanted to be like Dad, and the more I got into it, the more I realized, I can actually do this, and I actually really like doing this. Then it kind of started taking off more from there.
Cool. Because it's really neat that at an early age you knew what you wanted to do and you're still pursuing that. That's cool. A lot of kids, all they care about is riding bikes or playing at that age. That's pretty cool. Now, your dad, did he play professionally or anything, or did he just play as a hobby? What was his?
Yeah, it was more hobby. He always, when he was more my age, he wanted to be a rock star and tour the world and all that. And he had a band that made a little tape and stuff, and then he had my twin sister and I around like 21, 22, and that kind of stopped that plan,
Yeah.
But he still always played in bands around central Pennsylvania, and even now he still plays. He's in a classic rock band up there, so
Cool.
It's kind of always been a big part of our lives,
Cool. Yeah, having kids will at least pause life for a little while, and I can't imagine having two at once. So what that does to plans, yeah. So, well, it's good that he's still having some fun with it and playing and stuff too. So. Now you said in Pennsylvania, so I take it you grew up in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, right in the middle. So we had Philly, Pittsburgh, and then Harrisburg is dead center. So we were kind of near there, but in kind of the nothing going on part of it.
Yeah,
so,
nothing going on.
Yeah.
Nothing going on, I assume, includes not much of a music scene.
Yeah, not
so
much.
had it not been for your father playing, and I know he took you to concerts and see others perform and stuff, but if it hadn't been for that, you might not have been exposed to music. So what show that he took you to really inspired you, drove it home that this is what you wanted to do?
Yeah, there was one specifically that I always remember. At the time, I was really, really into the red jumpsuit apparatus, particularly their lead guitar player then, whose name was Elias. And it was a surprise, actually, that we went. My dad picked me up early from school the one weekend, and we just started driving to Baltimore. And he didn't tell me where we were going, and about, maybe halfway there or so, whatever, I found a T-shirt in the back with the red jumpsuit apparatus. I was like, oh, this is cool. This is my, band shirt, whatever.
Yeah.
He was like, oh yeah, we're going to see them play. So I was ecstatic,
I bet.
And it was in it was an acoustic show at a bar that I couldn't even remember the name if I tried, but it was a little upstairs bar that I wasn't even allowed in, so he had to kind of talk me around the bouncers and all that. But I just remember that night getting in there and wiggling my way up to the front. I stood right in front of Elias the entire night, watched him play, and just by the end of that show, I was like, yep, I want to be that guy. I want to do that. And that was it.
There you go. That defining moment in a young man's life. Yeah, there you go. That's cool. That's cool. Now, had that not happened, is it safe to say that you would maybe still be in Pennsylvania? I know your parents owned a custom countertop company. Would that be something you'd be doing if it hadn't come to music? What would you be doing, you think?
Yeah, it might have been. It might have been that. I kind of always worked with my dad, and then kind of in trades throughout, and actually still now, I still work a day job now in like a heavy machinery warehouse. But if I hadn't done music at all, I might have either gone down that path, or I was actually a baseball player too when I was younger. Kind of first dream was to do that. I wanted to be the starting catcher for the Detroit Tigers, and so maybe I would have chased that a little bit further.
Yeah.
But kind of hit a crossroads when I got to high school, because baseball and music both take all the time you have and then some if you want to try and do either one, really.
Yeah.
And so I had to pick one. I went with music. So.
Well, with catching being hard on the knees, you probably made the right choice.
Hopefully, yeah. It's been a fulfilling choice, so I don't regret it.
Yeah. And I assume you obviously worked with your parents and your dad's company there as a 12, 13-year-old. Was that parents scaring you straight, like you don't want to do this hard labor your whole life, so go do something else? Was that or am I looking too much into that?
No, I don't think it was that initially. It was more of a responsibility thing, I think, because my sister did it too. My sister and I both worked with my parents at their company, and
Yeah.
I think it was more just kind of an instilling, like, if you want things, you got to earn them type of deal. So they had to start working and just kind of get in that groove of things. But there was a point in my teenage years where I kind of went stubborn teenager with my dad and was like, I'm not going to go to college or anything. I'll just take over your business. And he was like, no, you won't do that, because you don't know how hard it is to do that, physical labor your entire life. So I don't know if it was scared straight per se, but there was a couple moments in there where he was like, you don't want to do this your whole life. And,
Well, parents usually want their kids to do bigger and better things than they did themselves and stuff.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I'm sure there was something there to that.
Yeah.
So we'll fast forward then a few years. You moved to Nashville, which a lot of people following their musical dreams do. Tell us what that transition was like, coming from a little small town of nothing in Mechanicsburg to what I call the big city of Nashville. What was that like?
Yeah, it was a little shocking at first, and it was something where when I moved, it was kind of not quite an impulse thing, but it was pretty close, because I thought when I was younger that maybe I want to come here. I had visited once with my dad when I was like 16. I was like, oh, it's a pretty cool place, And then when I was in school, I had found out just kind of accidentally that I could graduate early. But early was in like a few weeks, So I found it and I was like, oh, I can do this. Oh, it's like 3 weeks away. So I called my dad and I was like, Dad, I'm moving to Nashville. And he's like, that's cool. I'm like, no, I'm moving like now. And he was like, oh, okay. So it came down and so just kind of the speed at which that happened was already a little bit, it makes you a little shaky, You don't have anything really lined up at all. And then just like you said, coming from this small town with really nothing going on to what I also would consider a big city, because to me it's way bigger than Mechanicsburg.
Absolutely.
That was shocking, but it's been a really great decision, I think. Just for the music scene, if nothing else. I mean, there's always something to see, and I think a common misconception about Nashville, which was one I certainly had to come down, was that it's just a country city.
Yeah.
And it's really not. I mean, I've learned over just the 4 short years I've been here that you can find pretty much anything you want to hear in Nashville, which is something I love about it too. It's just there's such a wide range,
It's cool. Probably find something new you've never heard before, even, and you may find something you want to do then too. That's really cool. That's cool. So from 8 years old, picking up guitar.
Yeah.
So 12, 13, you started writing and songwriting and singing and live performances, and then all the way moved to Nashville. I know this year, I guess you probably found more success than you've had in the past. You released your first EP this year. Why don't you tell the viewers about that experience? What the maybe overall theme is? What the song list consists of? Any deeper meaning to it that you want to get out there?
Yeah, sure. The record is called Trust in a Stranger. It's an EP. It's 5 songs, and it's really just kind of 5 songs that are true stories about my life as the early 20s. Kind of, from moving to Nashville and on, and just kind of coming into that as a person and as a man, specifically for me. There's kind of parts of that too, going through just those struggles of growing up, really. I mean, not growing up from a kid, but really growing up as an adult. Because it's a whole different thing from growing up to like taking on the world as your own. So that's what the songs are. I mean, they're just stories from my early 20s, and putting them together took like 2 years in terms of putting the record together, and mostly because of COVID. But there's also 12 different changes between the first idea to the final thing. But at the end of it, I think we created something really cool, something I'm definitely proud of, and I think the guys I got to play with are proud of it as well. And hopefully people enjoy it.
Look, I listened to it leading up to this interview. It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Why don't you tell the viewers where they can listen to it? Maybe where you're at on social media, where they can buy merchandise or your music. Just kind of get yourself out there. Plug away, please.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find the music to stream on Spotify and Apple Music and pretty much all the streaming platforms that I know of, it's on. So whatever you subscribe to, you can check it out there. And if you like physical CDs, we sell those on the website too, on hunterlyonsmusic.com. And then for shows, we have them listed on the website. We have them listed on Bands in Town. If you follow that, you can subscribe, I think, to Bands in Town. It'll give you alerts whenever we're close by.
Cool.
So we do a mix, and I've primarily toured solo acoustic for the last few years, and now that the record's out, I'm trying to mix in some more full band stuff too. So, you might find different things to see.
Cool, absolutely. Well, go check him out. It's called Trust in a Stranger. His name is Hunter Lyons. You can find him on all those streaming sites and social medias and stuff. Just want to say thank you again for being here today, Hunter.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thank you for tuning in to Entertainment Buzz. Remember, like, share, subscribe to our page so you don't miss out on anything coming up. I'm Ronnie L Cleary, your host today. Thank you for watching.